Welcome. Today I'm sharing both a dream and a vision that I had in the same evening, which I think is kind of remarkable. It was mid-February 2015. Okay, let's get started. In this dream, I saw myself running, fighting for my life. That's the feeling that I felt. The enemy that I was trying to get away from, they were all wearing like uniform clothing, the plaid skirts for the girls, and everybody had a blazer and a white shirt on. I can see the hallway. We were at the darker end, and the lighter end, you could see like the gray floor was polished, and there were like mahogany wood walls in this hallway, and I can see pictures, framed pictures, and I want to say it was like a university setting or private school. And on the right side I can see a handrail it's like stairs going up on the right, but just the handrail all I could see. And then the enemy that we were fighting, they were like our classmates, and their faces were pale, like no color in them, and their eyes were black, cold, like dead eyes. So horrible. But they were not just like, they were like zombie-like, but they weren't just zombies. They were armed. They had weapons. And the word I hear in my head, in my dream, I hear mindless killers and programmed to kill. I heard those two, mindless killers and programmed to kill. So we all, the ones of us that were okay, who hadn't been turned, and that was another thing I felt as they were turned, quote unquote. And I forgot, they had a green mossy film substance on the side of their mouth, coming either out of their mouth or growing around their mouth. Gross. Yes, sorry, I apologize. So we decided to go into the basement. We felt like we'd have a chance if we got lower. So we turned, and I guess there was a stairwell going downstairs, which would work with the stairs going up on the other side, but we went downstairs, and downstairs was a sunken-in pool. And on the right side, there was like some sort of light source and room on the ground, and a countertop, I believe with towels or something on top, and it was like a cream colored tile, the room was tiled in this cream colored tile. And on the left side there was the same tile, like subway tile or whatever they call that, but cream, and benches with used towels crumpled up on top, and a narrow walkway and a door in the far corner left. And we knew we needed to get to that door to get out. So we thought maybe we could drain the pool, and they would kind of fall in and have trouble with the pool. But unfortunately, draining the pool was a manual process, and one of us had to stay. And so one male young man did, and I see him sitting on the side in his little school uniform, and he had a kind of smile on his face, and he's waving us to go, and his right hand is holding a lever down, and the water's draining out, and I see his legs are crossed, and he kind of swung them a little bit. His feet were crossed, and I think it just saddens me that we had to leave one behind. I don't like that we had to. So I'm still kind of grateful for him staying behind, even though I know it was a dream. Anyway, so we all made it to that door. It was just a few of us, but I can see that it was once the door opened, it was a narrow way in, and then you went off to the right, and there was another doorway. We went inside, and there was a restroom. In the restroom, it had a shower, stand-up shower, and people piled into the shower, and I can see that thin film curtain, like a curtain liner, and then people were sitting on the floors and anywhere they could be, and we closed the door. And I jumped up onto the countertop so there was more floor space. And I don't know if I was sitting on the counter or sitting in the sink, but I wanted to make sure there was enough room on the floor for people to stand. And there was a male classmate standing in front of me, and I can see him, and I look at him and I said, if I'm turned, it's okay to shoot me because I am saved. And that even felt powerful to say that in my dream. It just I felt so much power. So the next thing, I feel a touch on my face near my mouth, and it was him. He held his hand out, his finger, and I looked down at his finger, and it had this weird green, and he said, there's something on your mouth. And I turned to look in the mirror, because the mirror's right behind my head. So I guess I'm in the basin, or near it. But I look back and I see my face, and it's my actual face, but it's pale. There's no color. It's fading pale, and there was this green on my mouth. So the scene changes, and we're outside now, and it's nighttime, and I see myself standing tall, strong, in front of a freshly dug grave, and the grass is dead all around it, and I can see the pile of dirt that came out of the grave on the right, and there's like growing something like sunflowers or something growing. I can see the stalks off to the side on the left, and then I go back to my view, and I see them all lined up, and it was just a handful of them, 6, 8, 7 people, and their faces a little dimmed because behind them there's a light source, like the light is on in a building and is shining behind them brightly, so I can't quite see their faces. And I just stood there, and the next thing, I see a flash of a yellow light, and then the yellow light turns to a white light, a bright, and everything just turns white. And I feel myself falling backwards, and there's no pain. And I knew I was going to heaven. So that's the end of the dream. And as I'm coming out of this dream, it's a shock. I feel my body kind of jerk, like I was pulling myself out of it, or it was my whole body kind of shook, and I didn't want to wake up my husband. So I kind of like settled down, and I was like, what was that? Like, oh, nightmare. It's horrible. And when my eyes kind of came, clear, it's nighttime and it's dark, but I can see an image in front of me, and it's there. It is there. My eyes are open. I am awake because I just woke up from this dream. It's like a head on its side. The eyes were closed, and I see these waves of ripples, of curls, of like it's long and then it curls at the end, and it's all around, and it's a male face all around his head, and kind of billowing down to where the neck, and that's all I could really see is like the top of the neck. And I think I could see like the top of maybe a mustache. I'm not sure about a beard, but I could see the top of the mustache and a lip, the lips, possibly a beard, but I was just fascinated. Why? Well, first off, there's a floating head above my bed. And I'm like, what is this? So anytime I've had images like that of, but it's usually demonic, and I have to pray them out, and I command it, and I feel this, feeling like I'm ready to fight. And so those I know, but this one I didn't feel the feeling of fight, and my haunches weren't up, but I instantly went to the Lord's Prayer, and I tried to be as quiet as I could so I wouldn't wake my husband up. But I said out loud the Lord's Prayer, and I kind of pointed my finger, and I was, being very forceful with the Lord's Prayer. As I'm saying the Lord's Prayer, it vanished, and I stopped. I thought, okay, is that it? Well, when I stopped, it came back, and I was like, oh, it's back. And I thought, well, let me investigate, because they normally don't come back. Usually it's a fight and I have to make them go. But this one just kind of popped right back, and I thought, okay. So I'm looking at the face, and the eye is like the size of a lemon. If you can imagine, like a 10-pound watermelon head, like huge head, and then the eye is the size of, or the eyeball, or the eyelid is the size of a lemon. It was big. It was big. So I'm investigating this, and then I hear these words. I felt them. It was in my soul. I could hear it in my ears, my inner ear. I could hear it in my soul. I heard, my eyes are closed and I am resting, but they will be open soon. And once I heard soon, the image kind of slowly faded out and it was gone. Left me like jaw open, jaw dropping. Like, what was that? So first I have this nightmarish dream of zombies, killer zombies, or the words I was told were programmed to kill mindless fighters and children too. Gosh, leave our children alone, please. Mercy. And then I get this beautiful image of Jesus. It was Jesus. It was Jesus. I know it was. He came to me and he told me he's coming back. Praise God. Second coming. All I can say is, please be ready. If you're not ready, just quiet yourself down. Think about yourself in your life, and he loves you. He just wants to have a relationship with you. And if you can open yourself up to believing in him and believing that he's a loving God. He only wants the best for us. Salvation will wait for you. And there's so many people out there who can help you with that. And I just want to thank you so much for listening to this. And I love you. Jesus loves you. Please don't stop fighting, because Jesus is fighting for you. May God bless you. Amen. Till the next time.